Alright, we're putting back together the, well, it's already back together, the rear end for the Nova. And I got some pattern grease on there. We're going to check the backlash. I don't know if the camera will pick it up. We'll try. Everybody's like, man, you don't ever show the critical stuff. I try to. Anyway, you can look at the gauge there. I like to hold the pinion and then just move the ring gear. We got about 7. I'm going to live with that. 6 is probably, 4 to 6. You set it down to 4, you got to worry about breaking it in a little bit. This is a used gear, so I gave it a little bit extra, and I'm going to be doing a lot of burnout, so gave it a little extra clearance there. So that's good. We'll check the pattern next by rotating it through the ring gear through the pinion, and we'll look at the pattern that we get. I put the grease on both sides of the gear so we can check the drive side and the coast. Normally if the coast is off, it'll make the car really loud, noisy. They make a nice jig to put these in. I don't know if you can see that pattern, but you're on the camera stand here. Take off that. It's looking pretty good. It's sort of in the middle there, where you want it. It's a little more out at the top than I like, but it sort of stops right there. I think that's just a little excess. Doesn't look too bad. Look at the back side. It's looking pretty good. It's right in the center of the gear, right where it should be. So it should be good to go. Got all cleaned up. Ooh, unfocused. Got that all cleaned up and ready to go back into the housing. I'll probably put the housing in the car first and then install this. That way I can do it with no help. But anyway, this is going on there. I wanted to come out and finish that up tonight. And Hans is back over there working on the SR project. Welding. This is the welder that we bought. A couple of YouTubers use this. It's worked really well for us, and yeah, we like it. We're thinking about getting one of their MIGs, maybe one of the plasma cutters. Wanted to try it out for a little while and see how it worked. We've already run a couple bottles through it, and I think we've only used it on the 110 mode, which is pretty effective, right?
Yeah, I worked up for 140 amps on 110.
Yeah, 140, and it has the 220 function also. You really have to crank it out with some thick stuff, but
I think you can do 3/8 steel and like 1/8" aluminum on 110.
Hans upgraded the cups. That's the only really modification we made, and I think he ordered some clear cups now, so you can see a little better. That's my problem. Can't see good around the cup to weld. It's not really good for an old guy. For a blind old guy, anyway. Anyway, I'm going to turn this off, and we got the housing all cleaned up for this thing too. It's back in the corner here. Show you that. Got to get some brakes, and there's the housing. Ooh, a little dark, but it's all cleaned up. And I got the back of the car cleaned up back there. The leaf springs all clean, painted, ready to drop the rear end in. So as soon as we do that, we'll make it a roller and get it out of the corner here, and move some of these cars around. Hans has to weld a roll cage in a Volkswagen. He's not real happy about it. He wanted more practice, but it's a convertible, so there's no roof. we're gonna build a convertible pro mod. Sort of like that concept. Oh, we stuck the tungsten.
Yeah.
No, just adjusting it.
Yeah, because you have to go deep into this hole, so you have to stick the tungsten out like an inch. So you lose gas coverage if you get a breeze. And the door's open. That's what this
You want me to shut the door?
No, I'm almost done. I can shorten it back up.
Alright.
But that's what I had to do there and here.
Here's some of the welds that he finished. They look really good.
That might be hot right there.
It's a little warm right there, yeah. It's not burning hot, but a little earlier in the video I know it got burnt. Pretty damn good. I can tell you the welds are a lot nicer on this roll cage than the car that I go 150 miles an hour in. Of course we MIG welded everything on my car, you know. Just how we used to do it. TIG welder's a lot more precise. When I was a kid, you only TIG welded, you know, people would TIG weld chromoly, and there wasn't a lot of people that were doing it, you know. You'd have to pay really high dollar to get anybody to fab anything for you. We'll build a new car out of mild steel because I'm not really worried about weight, you know. Turbo cars like to be fat and heavy. Plus it's got to weigh 1,550 pounds.
There's no benefit. Unless you're building a full tube chassis car?
Well, it's just weight, you know.
Well, I mean,
and then you let you put the weight in the car so you can balance it a little more.
Well, with the chromoly, you have to add more tubing though.
Not necessarily more tubing, but I mean, the car will...
If you're just doing a 4-point roll bar, because I price this out for customers all the time, the roll bar is like $700-800 with chromoly. This is $200 to $300 depending on the options you get, and they weigh about the same. That's what I mean. Like, unless you're doing a full tube chassis car, it doesn't make any sense to save the 10 pounds.
Back in the old days, I think it was just, you know, well, a lot of people just like chromoly. But, you know, I will tell you from experience that chromoly seems to crack.
Cracks if you weld it wrong.
Yeah, well, I mean, our funny car chassis, when I was working for them, we would, every Monday, we would strip the car down. You know, we never painted the chassis. We'd have to go over the car with Scotch-Brite and WD-40 and look for cracks.
Well, chromoly is weird because it's one of the only like stainless type steels you weld with mild steel filler. Like you use this filler on it, and it has to cool down, and if it cools down too fast, it cracks. It's very temperate. It's like welding cast iron.
Yeah, that's why there wasn't a lot of people that used to do it when I was younger.
And you also have the back purge it if you want them nice and not crack.
I mean, like if you're building an exhaust,
Huh?
you have to back purge it like you're doing an exhaust system.
Yeah. It's very picky.
Anywho, I think one of these kits will be a nice foundation for the turbo convertible. Just gonna have to narrow it up a little bit, which isn't a problem, I guess. And then we'll just add to it.
What size you want in the vendor?
Oh well, when you gotta have it, it's got to be the same size. But I mean, we'll measure it all.
Electronically bent, so you just
Yeah.
put in the length and the dimensions you need it.
I can't believe how wide an SR is. You know, that cage will almost work in a Nova. It's 52 inches wide. A Nova, you know, really needs to be like 53 and a half, but pretty damn close. If you were not going to attach it to the pillars, you know. I like to make it snug against the quarter panel so you can attach it there. Would your ground come off?
I didn't go back on.
No ground, no weld, huh?
Neat. Cool smart stuff.
hopefully tomorrow night we'll be TIG welding some Porsche exhaust. I still have my car apart in a million pieces. I did get the water pump installed and a bunch of other stuff. I made some videos. I had to replace the water pump, all the hoses, and you got to disassemble the back of the car to do that. And while I was back there, we went ahead and did a muffler delete, pulled the exhaust off, and now I need to build some new tailpipes. So, the pipes are $174 if you buy them. I'm going to get Hans to make them. It'll be cheaper. Much cheaper. Alright son, have fun out here with the dampness. I'm going inside. Got the motorhome cleaned up today, getting ready to push out for vacation. I'm going to go for a week somewhere. I don't know where. I didn't make any plans at all. Just heading out. Going north, out of Florida.